My name is Richard. I'm 76 years old and I'm from Alabama. And it took me 54 years to understand something that now seems painfully obvious. I hope you don't need that long. When you're young, people tell you life is short. You nod and ignore them. At 20, time feels endless. At 30, you're just getting started. At 40, you're building something. At 50, you tell yourself you'll slow down soon. And then one day, you wake up and soon it's gone. I grew up in a small town in Alabama. Red dirt roads, humid summers, front porches, and slow evenings. My father worked with his hands, construction mostly. Hard man, quiet man. He believed in one thing, provide. That was love to him. He used to tell me, son, work now, enjoy later. So I did. I worked when my son was born. I worked when my daughter had her first school play. I worked through anniversaries, birthdays, long southern Sundays that could have been memories. I told myself it was temporary. I told myself one day. That's the most dangerous phrase in the English language. One day I'll slow down. One day I'll take your mom to the golf course. One day I'll sit with my dad on the porch and really talk. When I was 54, my father died. No long goodbye, just a phone call early in the morning. Heart attack, quick, final. I remember the Alabama heat that day, heavy and still, like the air itself knew something had ended. On the drive back to my hometown, past pine trees and open fields, all I could think about was our last conversation. I was in a hurry. I'll call you this weekend, Dad. Busy week. There was no weekend. At his funeral, folks stood up and talked about how dependable he was, how he worked sun up to sundown for his family. And standing there in that small church, I realized something that shook me. I had become him. Same long hours, same emotional distance, same belief that love equals sacrifice. I thought I was being strong, but I was just being absent. A few months later, I came home close to midnight. The house was dark, the cicadas were loud outside. My wife had left a plate in the microwave with a note, heat for 2 minutes. I sat alone at the kitchen table, eating reheated food in a house I was supposedly working so hard for. My son was already taller than me. My daughter was talking about college. My wife had learned to handle things on her own. They weren't angry, they were adapting. And that scared me more than anger ever could. One evening, my daughter, she was about 17, said quietly, Dad, I know you love us. I just wish you were here more. That sentence broke something open inside me because she was right. Love that is always postponed starts to feel like love that isn't real. That was the year I changed. Not perfectly, but intentionally. I turned down jobs that would have taken my weekends. I started sitting on the porch with my wife in the evenings, watching the sun go down over the trees. I called my kids during the day just to hear about their lives. And you know what? The world didn't fall apart. The business survived. The bills got paid. But my life felt real again. Then, at 60, I lost a friend. Good man. From Alabama too, worked hard his whole life. Big plans for retirement, fishing on the river, road trips, time with his grandkids. He retired at 61. He died at 62. A stroke. All his dreams were written in a small notebook his wife showed me. Pages full of someday. That's when the lesson became permanent. You don't control the length of your life. You only control the depth of it. Most people are waiting for the perfect time to start living. More money, more security, less stress. But let me tell you something honest. There is no perfect window coming. Life is happening. while you prepare. You can spend decades climbing only to realize the ladder was leaning against the wrong wall. At 76, I don't regret the money I didn't make. I regret the evenings I traded for emails, the calls I postponed, the apologies I delayed, the risks I avoided because they felt uncomfortable. Now I call my children because I want to hear their voices. I tell my wife I love her out loud, not just through responsibility. I sit on my porch in Alabama and actually watch the sky turn orange and pink as the sun goes down. When you get older, you understand something simple and terrifying. Time is not money. Time is life. Money can return, status can return, sometimes even health can return. Time never does. So here's the lesson that took me 54 years to learn. Do not build a life that looks successful but feels empty. Be present. Say the words. Take the trip. Forgive sooner. Choose memories over impressions. Because one day, in a small church somewhere, maybe even in a town like mine in Alabama, people will stand and talk about you. And they won't talk about your overtime. They'll talk about how you made them feel. If you're young, you have something priceless today. Don't trade it for one day. One day is a promise nobody signed. Live now, before now becomes a story you wish you had told differently.